Hello and welcome to Learn English Through Stories. Today's story is emotional, surprising, and unforgettable. It is a story about love, trust, betrayal, and a secret that destroyed 3 hearts. As you listen, try to imagine every scene clearly. Focus on the vocabulary, the emotions, and the conversations. This story will help improve your English listening skills while keeping you curious until the very end. Now let's begin. My name is Clara Bennett. I am 29 years old, and I own a small flower shop in Portland. Most days were simple. I woke up early, opened the shop, arranged fresh flowers, and spent my afternoons helping customers choose bouquets for birthdays, weddings, and anniversaries. Life wasn't exciting, but it was peaceful. Then one rainy afternoon, everything changed. A tall man walked into my flower shop. His dark coat was wet from the rain. He looked around nervously before approaching the counter. "Can I help you?" I asked. He smiled awkwardly. "I hope so. I need flowers, but I know absolutely nothing about flowers." I laughed. "Don't worry. You're not the first man to say that." His name was Daniel Hayes. He was an architect. He needed flowers for his mother's birthday. After helping him choose a bouquet, I wrapped the flowers carefully. Daniel watched me work. "You make that look beautiful," he said. "It is beautiful," I replied. He smiled. And for some reason, that smile stayed in my mind long after he left. Daniel started visiting often. Sometimes he bought flowers for family members. Sometimes for friends. Sometimes for no reason at all. One day he bought a single sunflower. "Just one?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "Why?" "My kitchen looked lonely." I laughed. But Daniel wasn't joking. That was one thing I liked about him. He noticed small things. He listened carefully. He remembered details. When I talked, he paid attention. When I had a bad day, he called. When I felt lonely, he appeared. Slowly, friendship became something more. 6 months later, we were officially together. For the first time in years, I felt completely safe. I believed Daniel was different. I believed he was the man I would marry someday. I had no idea how wrong I was. At first, the signs were tiny. Easy to ignore. Easy to explain away. One evening, Daniel's phone lit up while we were building a bookshelf together. A message appeared on the screen. "I miss you already, Red Heart." No name. Just a heart. My stomach tightened. "Who's that?" I asked casually. Daniel glanced at the phone. "Oh, that's my cousin Emily." "Your cousin sends heart emojis?" He laughed. "She's emotional." His answer sounded reasonable. So I accepted it. But something inside me felt uneasy. And that feeling refused to disappear. Over the next few months, Daniel changed. He started taking phone calls outside. He kept his phone face down. Sometimes he disappeared for hours. Whenever I asked questions, he always had answers. Perfect answers? Almost too perfect. One day, my best friend Nina visited the flower shop. She studied my face. "You look worried." I sighed. "Daniel has been acting strange." Nina crossed her arms. "Do you trust him?" "Of course." But my answer came too quickly. Nina noticed. "Sometimes," she said quietly, "people know the truth long before they're ready to admit it." Her words stayed with me. Because deep down, I already feared the truth. A week later, Daniel stayed at my apartment. While he was showering, his phone buzzed. I didn't want to look. But curiosity won. The message preview appeared. "Are you going to tell her this weekend?" "I can't keep waiting." My heart stopped. Tell me what? Who was waiting? Who was sending these messages? When Daniel came out of the bathroom, he smiled normally. But I couldn't smile back. Something was terribly wrong. And for the first time, I was afraid to learn the truth. The next morning Daniel said he had somewhere important to go. "Family stuff," he explained. Again. Always family stuff. This time, I decided not to believe him. After he left, I followed his car. My hands shook on the steering wheel. I hated what I was doing. But I needed answers. Eventually, Daniel stopped in front of a beautiful yellow house. Flowers filled the garden. Children's toys lay near the porch. It looked like a family home. Then the front door opened. A woman walked outside. She smiled when she saw Daniel. And then, Daniel kissed her. Not like a friend. Not like family. A real kiss. A loving kiss. My entire world shattered. I sat frozen inside my car. Unable to move. Unable to breathe. The woman touched Daniel's face. He laughed. He looked happy. Comfortable. At home. As if he belonged there. Because he did. Tears filled my eyes. Every excuse. Every late-night meeting. Every mysterious phone call. Suddenly everything made sense. Daniel wasn't confused. Daniel wasn't struggling. Daniel was living two separate lives. And I was one of them. That evening Daniel texted me. "Dinner tonight?" I should have said no. Instead, I agreed. I wanted answers. At the restaurant, candles flickered softly. Daniel seemed nervous. Halfway through dinner, he reached into his pocket. Then he placed a small velvet box on the table. My heart stopped. Inside was a diamond ring. "Clara," he said softly, "I love you. Will you marry me?" I stared at him. The same man who kissed another woman that morning. The same man who lied every day. The same man asking me to become his wife. I felt anger rise inside me. But before I could answer, a voice interrupted. "Daniel?" I turned around. And there she was. The woman from the yellow house. Standing beside a little girl. The girl held her hand tightly. Daniel's face turned white. The woman looked at me. Then at the ring. Then back at Daniel. "Who is she?" she asked. Daniel couldn't speak. The little girl looked up. "Daddy?" The entire restaurant fell silent. My blood ran cold. "Daddy?" I stared at the child. Then at Daniel. Then at the woman. And suddenly I understood. This wasn't just another girlfriend. This was something much worse. The woman looked at me with tears in her eyes. "You didn't know," she whispered. I shook my head. "No." She closed her eyes. Then she said the words that destroyed everything. "I'm his wife." Wife. Not girlfriend. Not fiancée. Wife. Married for 7 years. And the little girl was their daughter. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. Every memory I had with Daniel became a lie. Every promise. Every kiss. Every dream. All fake. All built on deception. Daniel tried to explain. But neither of us wanted excuses anymore. The truth was standing right in front of us. That night, both women walked away. Not together. But stronger. Daniel lost the two people he claimed to love. Because real love cannot survive without honesty. Months later, I heard he was living alone. His marriage was over. His second life was over. And the future he tried to build through lies had completely collapsed. As for me, I stayed with my flowers. I rebuilt my life slowly. And eventually, I learned something important. Being alone is painful. But being lied to by someone you trust is far worse. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from the person you once thought was your forever. So, what can we learn from Clara's story? At the beginning, Clara believed she had found true love. Daniel seemed caring, thoughtful, and trustworthy. He listened to her, supported her, and made her feel special. But sometimes people are not who they appear to be. When Clara noticed the warning signs, she chose to ignore them because she loved Daniel and wanted to believe the best about him. Unfortunately, the truth was much darker than she imagined. Daniel was living a double life. He was not only hiding another relationship, but he was also hiding a wife and a daughter. His lies hurt everyone involved, including the people he claimed to love. In the end, Daniel lost everything because trust, once broken, is very difficult to rebuild. Clara learned that real love is not just about sweet words, gifts, or promises. Real love requires honesty, respect, loyalty, and truth. This story reminds us that we should never ignore red flags simply because we love someone. Trust your instincts. Ask questions when something feels wrong. And remember that you deserve a relationship built on honesty, not deception. Sometimes losing the wrong person is actually the first step toward finding peace, self-respect, and a better future. And perhaps the most important lesson of all is this: a painful truth is always better than a beautiful lie. If you enjoyed this emotional English story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more powerful stories that improve your English naturally.